It's a beautiful day.
Joining me now, activist, entrepreneur, author, a man of so many talents, but most importantly, the voice of U2, Bono. He's coming to us right now from the Cannes Film Festival because your new film, Bono, Stories of Surrender, drops May 30th on Apple TV Plus. And I don't want to call this a documentary. I really felt like it was a therapeutic church service. How would you describe it?
Oh, that's so great. Thank you. Yeah, a little opera. Some soap suds here and there, but a little bit of an opera, because every family is an opera. And yeah, there's some church in it, in rock and roll.
Where the streets were not
We go to church in the dark. We scratch about for, little shards of light. In cinema, it's the same thing, is it not? It's cinema, you go to church in the dark and you're looking at projected light. So, thank you. Yeah, if you felt any kind of transcendence in my wee film, that's more than I could ever ask for. Thank you so much.
Brad Pitt's company is part of this. He helped produce it, and Brad said when he saw your show, he wished that it could go on for 3 hours and that there's no one in the world like you. What did it mean to have him a part of this production?
Well, he was really helpful, and Dee Dee Gardner, who's part of his production company, he was really helpful in sort of translating my ambition for this to Apple. He was friends with Andrew Dominic, who directed it, and he is a much more strategic thinker. He's that cool American who's just kind of rangy, just tense. He's kind of, things will happen, things won't. He's made of other stuff. I've learned a lot from working with him, because I'd be a person who'd go in, and try to put my shoulder to the door. He'd be the kind of person to say, actually, there's a key there, Bono, just turn the key and you can walk in. So he's a wise man. He and my daughter Eve, who's an actor, are obsessed with Formula One. And to watch the two of them go at it about engines, to go at it about who's the best driver, who's the best man. I'm like, what language do you people speak?
Drive fast.
I only know about fast songs and slow songs.
For 45 years, U2 has been turning out hits, and E.T. has been there from the beginning. We first sat down with the then 23-year-old rebel with a cause, along with his bandmate Larry Mullen Jr. in 1983.
I think there's a realism to U2 music. There's a lot of escapist music in the charts now, let's dress up, let's hide behind our haircut or whatever. I think our music is real. We're making records that we hope capture the time in which they were made, but also go beyond the time.
Now, the rock star and father of four is sharing never-before-seen tour footage and giving fans an inside look into his personal life with his new documentary that includes his 42-year marriage to wife Allie.
Turns out the most extraordinary thing about my life is the people I'm in relationships with.
We went out together the same week that I joined U2. I was 16, and that was a good week.
One life, but we're not the same. We get to carry each other.
Is there a comfort in the fact that she knows you? She's known you since you were a young man. Is there a comfort in that, having a person that knows you, Mr. Houston, and not Bono?
Yeah, it's a comfort, and it can be uncomfortable at times, because he knows me before I knew me. Somebody said once, to really know somebody, you need to know their memories, because she knows how I was formed. Her family brought up when I sort of lost the closeness of my own family as a teenager. Her family let me in, and her father became a really important fatherly figure to me, and her mother Joy, who's still alive at 91, can touch your toes. But she, yeah, she's changed my life, you know, and it's not all been, you know, smelling of roses. I mean, I've had a lot to put up with. No. She's been very patient with my and the band's wanderlust, you know, and our itinerant lives. She's done an amazing job with our kids, and I'm so grateful to her. And it is a love song to her in the end. So thank you for saying that.
Last time I saw my mother alive was at her own father's funeral.
I also felt that, you know, it was a reminder that great music comes from pain so often. And there was so much of it in your life from a very early age. And it really affected your music. As you reflect on it each and every time you watch it or perform, what goes through your mind retelling those stories?
I would say I don't think it's an extraordinary pain. It's quite ordinary. You know, the price of love is grief. We know that. And so when you lose somebody you love, it's going to leave this gaping wound. And I guess it was a gift to me.
Making music has been a way for the singer to channel his grief. His song Iris is a tribute to his late mother.
Hold me close.
It turned out the loss of my mother, I was 14 years old. And yeah, it left a big hole in my life. A lot of people have experienced that. I filled it with music.
My father's response to this tragedy was to never speak of her again.
We didn't mention her name, so she kind of got a bit disappeared from our life. And that was hard. And I sang myself in some ways toward her. And in these songs, I'm also trying to sing myself toward my father, toward my band, toward my wife. And I'm not used to being on stage without Edge, Adam, and Larry. It's a strangely vulnerable feeling, but I think that's what I needed to go through because, you know, I can do the swagger, I can stick my jaw out, but, you know, I think it's okay to take off the armor and as they say, you know that dream of you're naked in front of the whole school.
Yeah.
I had a bit of that. And but it's my definition of art anyway.
You have been a part of so many momentum shifting moments on this planet.
Dr. King had a dream. On Tuesday, that dream comes to pass.
One of my favorite days at Entertainment Tonight was watching you, this man from Ireland, singing this definitive pop song about African-American man here in the United States, Martin Luther King, on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial where he stood. What do you remember about that day and that moment, walking out in front of the Lincoln Memorial and singing that song and that line?
Well, you see, it's strange, but I learned about nonviolence through this black preacher from Atlanta. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, there was John Hume in my own country because Ireland was nearly at civil war, but I really started to understand nonviolence through Dr. King. And it meant something. It's easy to talk about nonviolence on the red carpet here. It can. It's easy to wave a white flag. But in Ireland, growing up, it was a different matter. And he gave me strength. So to walk out in front of first black president and his family and sing that song, it was one of the highlights of a life full of them. But yeah, to have permission to sing it, by the way, on the Mall, where Dr. King made that speech, I have a dream. His dream was big enough for the whole world to fit in it, including this Irishman. I was very grateful. I know that Edge, Adam, and Larry felt the same.
It was a magical moment. I mean, I was so teary-eyed that day. I remember watching it. We got to go real quick, though. More U2 coming. What's next?
It's the only thing. Edge has been whispering, nostalgia is a thing of the past. That's this new line. We got to get to the future. What's the point in figuring out the past? You figure out the past in order to get back to now. And that's how we get into the future. So yeah, I've been in the studio with Edge, Adam and Larry. We've got something coming, and it's a music that you, I, or any of us in that room have not heard before. We're having a moment.
Beautiful day.